Welcome back. We've done the analysis of how the entire electoral battle is shaping up thus far. Now, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of the day, let us get the pulse from the ground. It educates the conversations we have in our studios on what the people are saying. Over the course of the election so far, we have been on the ground in 121 constituencies. So we've covered near half. Today, we're in the ground in another 22 constituencies. So by the end of the day, we would have heard voices right here on this one channel into the thousands. Now, caveats out there, not everybody says what the logic of what they're voting for is. We don't ask people who they're voting for. We ask them what the issues are that they're covering. Some people are shy. Some people are very vocal, but it gives us a pulse. And that's the purpose. Let's spend the next half an hour jumping in before we introduce our guests and open up the larger conversation. Ehtiyab Sheikh joining us from Indore, Nasir Khan joining us from Srinagar, Arzu Seth joining us from Kannauj, where Akhilesh Yadav is contesting from, and Brian Thomas is in Behrampur in West Bengal. The battle stations in West Bengal definitely heating up this morning. Let's kick it off with Ehtiyab. Ehtiyab, very interesting contest over there. The main Congress candidate has withdrawn his nomination. So it is BJP versus Nota. A lot of people are still gathering to vote. What are they saying?
Absolutely. As far as Indore is concerned, yes, definitely the people of Indore are ready to vote, to exercise their vote. And in fact, we can see the lines started forming early in the morning itself. The voting has just started, and as we can see in the visuals that people had been coming out with their homes and looking forward to vote. Whereas, as you clearly mentioned, that this exactly is a very interesting contest because this is direct contest between BJP and so-called Nota Muhim of the Congress, but there are 13 other individual candidates who will be exercising their vote, who will be contesting this election. And in fact, I'll just rope in some people who are in the line right now. Sir, as far as the equation in Indore is concerned, definitely there is no direct so-called competition, but still people have started coming out to exercise their vote.
Yes, that is their right, and I think everybody should contest, should be a part of this election and exercise their voting right.
Sir, as far as the issues are concerned, what issues are there in your mind when you come out to vote early in the morning? This is the voting has just started.
We have to get back BJP into power.
So this exactly is the scenario. I'll just सर किस तरह का माहौल दिख रहा है? ये कहा जा रहा था कि इस बार कोई मुकाबला ही नहीं है, लेकिन तब भी आप वोट देने के लिए निकले हैं, इंदौर वासी वोट देने निकले हैं।
अच्छी बात है सर, ये तो भाजपा के लिए समर्पित है हम तो।
सर आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखो, वोट डालना मेरा जन्मसिद्ध अधिकार है और मैं हमेशा शुरू से ही स्वतंत्र पार्टी, वंशवाद पार्टी के खिलाफ वोट देना चाहता हूँ।
मुद्दे आपके जहन में क्या है?
हमारे मुद्दे 50% तो सॉल्व हो गए हैं, 50% तो सॉल्व कर देंगे 2000।
उन मुद्दों का इंतजार है, इसलिए
वोट करने निकले हैं।
I suppose the people are absolutely clear as far as the people in Indore are concerned. I'll just give you some statistics. Overall, 26,803 voters will be exercising their right to vote in Indore. And as far as the polling booths are concerned, 2,397 polling booths had been made across in Indore district itself, whereas certain Adarsh booths had been constructed, theme-based booths had been constructed, and there's one more thing to promote as far as the voting is concerned. The Chappan Dukan, the famous Chappan Dukan of Indore, has declared that whoever is coming after casting their vote, they can have a free poha jalebi at Chappan Dukan. So this exactly had been the initiative which had been taken by the people of Indore, the business community of Indore, and the administration of Indore. Rishabh.
Okay, it's an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. People are coming out to vote. 2 out of 3 voters have so far exercised their mandate in the first 3 phases. We are hoping it's a bit larger this time. But you're seeing a very interesting example from Indore where, yes, the Congress candidate is no longer there. The people on the ground are still out there and standing in lines early this morning and queuing up to vote. Ehtiyab, stay with us. Stay with us. We want to come straight back to you in just a bit. Meanwhile, let's shift focus to Behrampur in West Bengal. Ladies and gentlemen, Behrampur is an important seat in a swing state. This is where the balance of numbers, either extra for the BJP, less for the BJP, or indeed extra for the India Alliance, less for the India Alliance is going to be decided. It's a candidature where Pradeep Kumar Panigraha of the Bharatiya Janata Party is taking on Rashmi Ranjan Patnaik as well as Burgo Bakshi Patro of the Biju Janata Dal. Technically a tripartite contest. Many would feel that the Congress and BJD might even divide each other's vote and advantage BJP. We don't know because it was the BJD's Chandrasekhar Sahu, I remember, in that constituency in Odisha, in fact, who had won last time around. Let's look at the one in Bengal now, because a very interesting battle is lining up in Bengal. Brian, now you got an opportunity to head back to home state. How's the battle in Behrampur shaping up between the candidates who are there at that point of time, between the TMC and the Bharatiya Janata Party?
Well, definitely, Rishabh, a very good morning. And behind me, you can see a big line also, pulping up. And without, further ado, we'll be talking to the people to get more perspective about what they are thinking and what the issues are. Sir, आपसे बात करना चाहेंगे, क्या मतदान करने वाले हैं?
Okay. We're going to sort that connection out with Brian. Brian, you need to sort your connection out, buddy. Okay. Let's stabilize it. Let's hop across to Kannauj in UP. Will he, won't he? Will he, won't he? Well, he has. Akhilesh Yadav has decided to come on the field and contest in Kannauj, take the fight to the Bharatiya Janata Party. It is a crucial phase of the election where the middle part of Uttar Pradesh is now casting its vote. It is crucial for the entire Samajwadi Party team, for them to be able to deliver. We've seen that not only is Akhilesh Yadav contesting, Dimple Yadav is contesting, his cousins are contesting. This is where it's the make or break from them. What's happening on the ground, Arzu?
Well, Rishabh, we are right now in the perfume capital of India, that is Kannauj, and here Akhilesh Yadav is contesting this time. If we talk about since 1998, Samajwadi Party has never lost this seat, but in 2019, the people have decided to bring a change and they have given vote to BJP, Subrat Pathak, and this time also it's between Bharatiya Janata Party and Samajwadi Party, and you can see how the voters are coming to in fact vote in this morning, and women in large number in fact are coming here. We will like to interact with them. Ma'am, क्या मुद्दे हैं कन्नौज के अगर जाने तो? देखिए, some people are in fact shy. मैम, आप यंगस्टर हैं, अगर कन्नौज की बात करें तो क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं आपके लिए?
जॉब्स एंड सफाई से रिलेटेड हो गया और थैंक यू।
तो क्या कुछ काम कन्नौज में हुआ है अगर बात करें पिछले कुछ सालों में?
बहुत इम्प्रूवमेंट्स हुए हैं गर्ल्स से रिलेटेड सेफ्टी।
Okay, so you can heard the voters are coming. In fact, we would like to show you the polling booth where we are standing right now. And Kannauj is a stronghold of the Samajwadi Party since 1998. But the seat witnessed a significant shift in 2019. And if the BJP faces the challenge of replicating its 2019 performance in this phase, the SP's top concern to be regain this seat. And this will be very interesting battle between Akhilesh Yadav and Subrat Pathak. And Subrat Pathak will be voting at 8 a.m. in the morning in this polling booth, and you can see how the voters are coming. In fact, we will go across to some voters, and you can see some of the voters have in fact casted their vote, and people are coming in large number at this polling booth. We can't go inside where they are casting vote, but people are coming, and we will try to take their reaction. Sir, वोट करने आए हैं, कन्नौज की बात करें, इत्र का हब माना जाता है, तो किस तरीके से विकास यहाँ पे देखने को मिला है?
विकास अच्छा देखने को मिला है और वोट यानी कि सब मिलाकर 400 पार।
अच्छा, तो अगर बात करें तो पिछले कुछ सालों में आप लोगों के क्या मुद्दे हैं जो पूरे हुए हैं या फिर आप चाहते हैं कि इस बार पूरे हों?
सारे मुद्दे पूरे हुए, सारे ही होंगे।
अच्छा, so you can see how the voters are coming at this polling booth. मैम, आपने वोट डाला है और सबसे पहले आप यहाँ पर पहुँच गई थी, क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं कन्नौज के और सबसे पहले वोट डाल के कैसा लग रहा है?
बस शांति और विकास की ही बात है और जो है चल रही है बस वही चाहते हैं।
सर, क्या कुछ मुद्दे हैं कन्नौज के, क्योंकि इत्र हब कहा जाता है, किस तरीके से बूम इस इंडस्ट्री को यहाँ पे मिला?
ये पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शन है, इसमें लोकल मुद्दे नहीं होते, इसमें देश के लिए मुद्दे होते हैं। हमें वो प्रधानमंत्री चाहिए जो हमें दुनिया में खुद आगे ले जाए। हमने उस प्रधानमंत्री को देखा यूनाइटेड नेशंस में योगा करते हुए, हमने देखा उसको पापुआ न्यू गिनी में प्रोग्राम करते हुए, हमने देखा है तुम्हारे बहरीन में मंदिर का जीर्णोद्धार कराते हुए, अबू धाबी में मंदिर बनाते हुए, ऐसे आदमी को, हमारे देश का नाम ले जा, हर तरीके से ऊंचा करने वाले आदमी को।
इस बार अखिलेश यादव खुद यहाँ से आ गए हैं, पिछली बार उनकी वाइफ को हार मिल गई थी।
देखिए उनके बारे में हमें ज्यादा कुछ नहीं बोलना है, वो सभी जानते हैं।
उनके लिए बस एक ही चीज है कि वो आप जब भी सर्वे करोगी, जब जब सपा गवर्नमेंट इस प्रदेश में रहेगी, सिवाय गुंडागर्दी के अलावा कुछ नहीं होगी। सबके साथ में दुर्व्यवहार, अपने लोगों के अलावा किसी का भला नहीं किया उन्होंने। और हमने ये विकास किया, वे विकास किया। अगर तुमने थोड़ा विकास कर भी दिया तो चीफ मिनिस्टर थे, तुमको अपनी जमीन पे के थोड़े आए थे।
Thank you so much. So you can hear the people out here at the Kannauj, and they are saying that they are happy what the work that current government has done. In fact, they are, also hoping that the government that will be formed here, here in the center, that will work for the development of the people.
Okay.
Yes, Rishabh.
Kannauj, Akhilesh Yadav, yes, has decided to come out and contest the seat that his wife lost last time around by a very close margin of 13,000 votes to Subrat Pathak. Remember, Akhilesh Yadav was in two minds, so that we are told, but he decided to come and be making an effort to swing this seat with the logic that the seat that his father had won, now the late Mulayam Singh Yadav had won in 2019, which was then won by his wife in a by-election in 2022 in Mainpuri, that Dimple Yadav would continue to contest from there and he would try to swing the seat of Kannauj. Remember, his family members are now united and they are trying to pick up a few other seats in this central part of Uttar Pradesh as well. Let's make an attempt to go back to West Bengal, where my colleague Brian has been standing by. I can see people behind him. Brian, over to you.
Well, Rishabh, without further ado, we'll be talking to people. Sir, आप वोट करने आए हैं, क्या मुद्दे को मद्देनजर रखते हुए आप वोट करेंगे?
हमने जो सही कर रहा है उसको ही वोट करेंगे।
और क्या कुछ इश्यूज है जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आप वोट करेंगे?
नहीं, कोई इश्यूज नहीं है।
सर, आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश करेंगे, क्या इश्यूज है जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आप वोट करेंगे?
हमारा पास है, देश का राजा अच्छा होता सब अच्छा होगा।
तो ऐसा कोई इश्यूज है स्पेसिफिक?
इशू मतलब क्या होगा, दिन खाटे दिन खाएगा,
काम करने वाला है, रोज काम करता है, रोज खाता है, बस।
सर, आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश करेंगे, क्या इश्यूज को मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज आप वोट करेंगे?
इशू का कोई यहाँ पर दिक्कत नहीं है। सब जो आदमी लोग हैं, हमारे यहाँ का जो वोटर है, सबके पास हमारे जो एमपी है उसको मांगना चाहते हैं कि वो हमारे साथ ऑल टाइम रहे, ऐसे ही चाहिए।
सर, आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश करेंगे। सर, आपसे जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि क्या इश्यूज है जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज वोट करेंगे?
I belong to the state. I want every development of the state. In that perspective, I want to cast my vote.
So, is there a issue or something that
development of the total development of the state?
सर, आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि आपके हिसाब से क्या मुद्दे हैं जिसको आप मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज अपना वोट या मतदान देंगे?
हर आदमी का तरफ हम लोग भी एक ही मांगता है, हर सामान का चीज़ थोड़ा कम होना चाहिए और जो न्यू जनरेशन का है उनको काम मिलना चाहिए, यही हम लोग को उम्मीदवार का है।
सर, आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश है कि आप फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर हैं?
नहीं,
अच्छा,
तीसरा वोट।
ये आपका तीसरा वोट है, तो आपके हिसाब से क्या इश्यूज है या क्या मुद्दे हैं जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज आप वोट करेंगे?
मैं सभी को एक ही चीज़ बताना चाहूँगा कि आप लोगों ने 2023 में द जवान फिल्म देखी है ना, आपने पूरे इंडिया ने देखी है, तो सही आदमी को वोट दीजिए।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
पावर यूज करना है।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। वी विल आल्सो बी अटेम्प्टिंग टू टॉक टू फ्यू वुमेन आल्सो टू गेन मोर पर्सपेक्टिव। मैम, क्या इश्यूज को मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज आप वोट करेंगे?
हाँ, यस, हाँ करेंगे। तो
मैम, आपसे भी जानने का कोशिश करेंगे, क्या मुद्दे को आज मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज आप वोट करने आए हैं सुबह सुबह? क्या न्यूज हिंदी, ठीक है। मैम, आपसे भी जानने का कोशिश करेंगे, क्या मुद्दे हैं जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज आप वोट करेंगे?
नहीं।
We'll also be try to talking to, yes, definitely people are, especially women are shy. मैम, आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश करेंगे, क्या मुद्दे हैं जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज आप वोट करेंगे?
नहीं।
मैम, आप अगर बता देंगे क्या मुद्दे, क्या इश्यूज है जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आप वोट करेंगे?
Okay.
सर, आपसे जानने का कोशिश करेंगे। सर, आपसे जानने का कोशिश करेंगे, क्या
keeping to
मुद्दे?
pattern and in Bengal. This is the fourth phase, and we've had reporting out of Bengal in every single phase. as we go from constituencies to constituency. And we've seen a tendency that in Bengal, lot many more people don't want to speak in front of a camera on what they're thinking, which is unusually strange. You'll see the difference in other parts of the country immediately. But this is, ladies and gentlemen, a fight for Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. He's won the seat 3 consecutive terms, held the seat despite the Mamata wave in Bengal, despite the Modi wave in the country. He's held the seat repeatedly, but this time the TMC has brought none other than cricketer Yusuf Pathan to contest against him. So this is a fight of Indie bloc versus Indie bloc. That's what the fight is about in Behrampur, which is why it's an interesting fight. Brian, of course, you're free to, of course, speak Bengali and translate for us, for viewers joining all across the country once we come back to you. Let's head off to Srinagar. Another interesting fight, another important seat. And this time around, we'll have to figure out where that translation is happening. Nasir Khan is standing by. Nasir, what are people saying on the ground? Generally, Srinagar comes out early to vote. What's happening around you?
एग्जैक्टली ऋषभ, देखिए मैं इस वक्त श्रीनगर के डाउनटाउन उस इलाके में मौजूद हूँ जो आतंक और हिंसा का गढ़ माना जाता था। यहाँ पे लोग जो है बाइकाट के साथ है, लेकिन आज अगर देखा जाएगा मेरे पीछे जो पोलिंग बूथ देख रहे हैं आपके, वहाँ पे यंग युवा जो है आज अपना मतदान जो है वो देने के लिए अंदर जा रहे हैं। जितने भी हमारे साथ बात हुई उनका यही कहना है कि आज हम चेंज चाह रहे हैं। जो डेवलपमेंट पिछले 2019 के बाद अभी तक देखे उस डेवलपमेंट और मजीद डेवलपमेंट देखना चाहते हैं और पीसफुल एटमॉस्फेयर की तरफ जा रहे हैं। आज ये वही डाउनटाउन है जहाँ पे हमेशा बाइकआउट की कॉल्स रहती थी और आज अगर देखा जाएगा आज पूरा डाउनटाउन खुला है। आज लोग जो है घरों से बाहर आ रहे हैं, स्पेशली यूथ जो है घरों से बाहर आके अपने वोट का जो है मतदान कर रहे हैं। लेकिन अंदर पोलिंग स्टेशन अंदर जाने की अनुमति नहीं है, लेकिन अभी तक जब हमने देखा कि काफ़ी सारे लोग जो है वो अंदर चले गए हैं, वो अपना वोट जो है वहाँ पे दे रहे हैं और सुरक्षा के कड़ी इंतजाम किए गए हैं डाउनटाउन एरिया में। ये वही एरिया है जहाँ पे मीरवाइज उमर फारूक की जो कॉल होती थी बाइकआउट की, उसका अच्छा खासा असर देखने को मिलता था। दुकानें बंद रहती थी, गाड़ियाँ घरों में रहती थी और लोग जो है घरों से बाहर आने में गुरेज कर। लेकिन आज हमने देखा कि आज लोग जो है घरों से बाहर आ रहे हैं, अपना वोट दे रहे हैं। स्पेशली यूथ जो है वो आ रहे हैं। कहीं ना कहीं कश्मीर की तस्वीर जो है वो बदल चुकी है और कश्मीर के युवाओं की तस्वीर जो है वो भी बदल चुकी है। वो भी चाहते हैं कि आज जो है कश्मीर घाटी जो है वो विकास और डेवलपमेंट की तरफ निकले और आज हमने उसकी मिसाल जो है कश्मीर के कोने कोने पे देखी। यहाँ पे 2019 के बाद ये पहला इलेक्शन है जहाँ पे हमने काफ़ी सारी चेंजेस देखी। इससे पहले जो 2014 में लोकसभा पार्लियामेंट इलेक्शंस हुए थे वहाँ पे हमने देखा था कि इस इलाके में बाइकआउट हुआ था। इस इलाके में जो है पोलिंग बूथ पूरे दिन सुनसान पड़ा था। लेकिन आज अगर देखा जाएगा आज लोगों का काफ़ी तांता लगा हुआ है, अंदर जो है अपने वोट का वो मतदान कर रहे हैं। जी
Okay, first time since Srinagar is voting. First time. Remember, there are no assembly elections in the state right now. So the first time Srinagar is voting since the abrogation of Article 370. It's a seat in Srinagar which Farooq Abdullah had won with a near 60% vote share of the few lakh voters that had voted last time around. Remember, this is an important constituency. You're covering Budgaon, Gandarbal, Pulwama, Shopian, and of course Srinagar in the city itself. It is a place where a very interesting battle is being fought under heavy security for obvious reasons. Now, what will happen in this contest is yet to be seen. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, 24 candidates have come out this time, including, of course, the National Conference, the Apni Party, the PDP is, of course, fighting this poll. This is a poll primarily between the NC and the PDP, not necessarily between the NC and the BJP in this case at all. So now what happens to the Abdullahs in Srinagar is about to be decided. Meanwhile, Giriraj Singh is speaking out. Let's quickly listen in.
स्वाभाविक है, मैं वोटर हूं मुंगेर लोकसभा का और मेरा 10 किलोमीटर का फार्क है गंगा के इस पार गंगा के उस पार। मैं यहां से 7 बजे वोटिंग करूंगा और 7:20 में अपने कंस्टिट्यूएंसी में लोगों के बीच रहूंगा। देखिए, नरेंद्र मोदी एक ऐसे शख्सियत का नाम है जो आज पूरे देश में और दुनिया में अपनी विश्वसनीयता कायम की है। देश की महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण, गरीबों का सशक्तिकरण, विज्ञान का सशक्तिकरण, देश का सशक्तिकरण और दुनिया में भारत को विश्व गुरु बनाने के लिए।
Singh there speaking a short while ago. He, of course, casting his vote in Munger. He is, of course, the candidate, sitting MP and candidate from Begusarai. And this time, the opposition has put together a joint candidate against him. Last time, of course, Begusarai became a very infamous battle because this man on your screens dealt a pretty emphatic defeat to Kanhaiya Kumar, who had come back to Begusarai to fight the elections but was wiped out by Giriraj Singh. That individual, we are being told, is now headed to contest from Delhi. So much for contesting from the hometowns of Bihar where he has lost. I'm going to make an attempt once again to go back to Ehtiyab to try to speak to a few more voters in Indore, in Madhya Pradesh, to get a flavor of what the issues are. Ehtiyab, back to you.
Yes, absolutely. Rishabh, as we can see that the lines have started building up, the queues have started building up, where people are coming out to their homes to cast their votes. And in fact, it is very clear that there is no competition as far as BJP is concerned. Only the individuals and the BJP contestant is in the line. Sir, ये कहा जाए कि इंदौर का कंपटीशन तो ये काफी हद तक ये कहा जा रहा था कि एक तरफा हो गया है, लेकिन फिर भी ये लाइन देखकर लगता है कि मतदान के लिए तो कम से कम इंदौरी जागरूक नजर आ रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल, डेमोक्रेसी है, डेमोक्रेसी हमारा राइट है और हमें करना भी चाहिए। तो वोट दें, भले ही नोटा को वोट दें, पर वोट तो दें। वोट देना जरूरी।
कौन से जहन में रहते हैं जिस वक्त वोट करने जाते हैं?
जब अलग अलग इलेक्शंस में अलग अलग मुद्दे होते हैं, नेशनल लेवल पे नेशनल मुद्दे रहेंगे, रीजनल लेवल पे स्टेट लेवल पे स्टेट रहेंगे। अगर मुझसे पूछेंगे तो मैं तो यूनिटी डाइवर्सिटी की बात करूंगा, प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बात करूंगा।
प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की बात करेंगे। Rishabh, I can see a few elderly people also who are coming out to cast their vote. Sir, सिचुएशन इंदौर की देखा जाए, मतदान के प्रति ये कहा जाए कि लगाव और रुझान दिख रहा है, लोग अभी भी लाइन लगा रहे हैं, जबकि कह रहे थे कि साहब एक तरफा मुकाबला हो गया।
नहीं सर, ऐसा कुछ नहीं, मुकाबला कैसा भी हो, हमारे पास तो अधिकार है वोट डालने का, हमें डालना है वोट।
सर, इंदौर ने हमेशा स्वच्छता में नंबर 1 कहा था, एक मुहिम और थी कि मतदान में नंबर 1 बनेंगे। लगता है कि आज मतदान बेहतर होगा?
मेरे हिसाब से 65% होना चाहिए।
जाएगा, लगेगा, यानी लोग घर से बाहर निकलेंगे। और सब मुद्दे कौन से जहन में है आपके?
बस यही स्वच्छता का है, फिर ये करप्शन का है, ये करप्शन खत्म होना चाहिए।
करप्शन खत्म होना चाहिए, स्वच्छता का मुद्दा रहता है। मैम, क्या कहती हैं? इंदौर एक बार फिर दिखा रहा है कि चाहे कुछ भी हो जाए, मतदान करने जरूर निकलेंगे।
जरूर निकलेंगे, और हमारा अभी नया कार्ड ही बना है, हमको यहाँ शिफ्ट हुए 1 महीना हुआ है।
अच्छा, तो आप शिफ्ट होके पहले कहीं और वोट देते थे?
हाँ, हम मैहर रहते थे।
हाँ जी।
पर सतना।
तो क्या मुद्दे हैं मैम आपके जहन में, दिमाग में कोई मुद्दे हैं जिसके लिए वोट करने पहुंचे?
बस मुद्दे क्या, अच्छे से चले सरकार और अच्छे से सब काम हो,
सरकार
और
अच्छे से चले, लोग बेहतर रहे।
जो भ्रष्टवाड़ा है वो हटे, बिल्कुल भ्रष्टाचार हटे।
भ्रष्टाचार। ऋषभ, आई जस्ट टेक यू थ्रू सम ऑफ द जो बुजुर्ग लोग यहाँ हैं, आई जस्ट ट्राई टू रोप इन, क्योंकि यहाँ इंतजार कर रहे हैं। मैम, आप लोगों का वोटिंग हो गया? मैम, ये कहा जाए इंदौरी लोग सुबह से निकल पड़े, जबकि कह रहे थे कि साहब इस बार तो काफी लोग निकलेंगे।
नहीं, निकलेंगे और जरूर वोट देंगे। वोट देना हमारा अधिकार है, और हमको यदि हम बता सके तो बता दें कि हम कहाँ वोट देंगे।
नहीं, कहाँ नहीं मैम, मुद्दा क्या है?
मुद्दा ये है कि पहले तो हिंदुत्व को बढ़ावा देना है, और दूसरा सबका विकास होना चाहिए।
अच्छा, ये का परसेंटेज अच्छा रहेगा वोटिंग का, जबकि कोई कंपटीशन नहीं है यहाँ पे?
नहीं, फिर भी आएंगे लोग इंदौर में जागरूक है।
मैम, आपने वोट दे दिया?
हाँ, दे दिया।
ऋषभ, मैं माफी चाहता हूँ, मुझे पूछना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन फिर भी पूछ ले रहा हूँ, उम्र कितनी हो गई है? हालांकि बहुत अजीब सा सवाल होगा, लेकिन पूछ रहा हूँ। 62 एंड अर्ली मॉर्निंग आप निकल आए हैं, जबकि यहाँ कोई कंपटीशन था नहीं।
हाँ, तो हमारा हक है ना वोट देना।
हमारा हक है।
हाँ।
और इस हक को एक्सरसाइज आप किस मुद्दे पे करना चाहती हैं मैम?
बस हिंदुइज्म पर, कि अपना हिंदू आगे आना चाहिए
जी। उसके अलावा कुछ स्थानीय मुद्दे, सरकार से कोई उम्मीदें?
सरकार से उम्मीदें तो क्या अब रखे, अब
विकास के मुद्दे।
विकास तो हो ही रहा है, मोदी जी विकास कर ही रहे हैं सब।
Rishabh, I'll just take you through the visuals again.
Please.
See, the queue has started building up, and this queue is consecutively building up. There are separate queues. There are 2 polling stations in this particular campus. I'll just ask Sunil to give a visual of that polling station also. So,
Okay, all right.
Towards
Ethiop, you know, yeah, as we began this telecast by pointing out that this is a fight in Madhya Pradesh, which is primarily a fight, ladies and gentlemen, between the BJP and the Congress, in which the Congress candidate withdrew his nomination. So the Congress does not have a candidate in Indore. And, well, one person has come out and said, I'm voting to save the constitution. The other person comes out and says, I'm voting for Sabka Vikas. I'll leave you to guess what they are thinking as they're casting this vote this morning. But you are getting an understanding that some people are at least listening into the conversation which we do on television channels and politicians come and do in their rallies. Let's quickly hop across back to Behrampur before I come to my guest joining us this morning. Brian, please feel free to speak to people in the vernacular so that we can get perspectives and you can translate for us. Go ahead.
Well, Rishabh, I'll make an attempt to first, ask them in Hindi. If they do not, then I'll go and talk to them in Bengali. Sir, आप वोट करना है, क्या मुद्दे रहेंगे आपके लिए?
जो जीतेगा कोई अच्छा लगेगा.
कोई ऐसे इश्यूज है?
नहीं, कोई इश्यूज नहीं है हमरा.
सर, आप फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर है, तो आपके हिसाब से यूथ को क्या मुद्दे हैं जो जिसके तहत आप आज वोट करने वाले हैं?
नहीं जानते.
বলছি কি ইস্যুজ আছে যেটা আপনি মাথায় রেখে ভোট করবেন?
জানি না.
স্যার आपसे भी पूछना चाहेंगे কি ইস্যুজ আছে যেটার জন্য আপনি আজ ভোট করবেন?
দেখবো যে আমাদের সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্ট কিভাবে কাজ করছে, এটা তো সেন্ট্রালের ভোট, সেই জন্য সেই হিসাবে ভোটটা করবো আমরা.
So basically Rishabh, he said that he will see what the central government does because this is the central government's place, and he says that he will rather make sure what the central government does. सर आपसे भी पूछने की कोशिश करेंगे, सर आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश करेंगे, क्या मुद्दे रहेंगे?
भारत को शक्तिशाली करना है. भारत को शक्तिशाली करना है.
भारत को शक्तिशाली करना है. बहुत बढ़िया. सर आपसे भी, आप फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर है?
नहीं.
ठीक है, आपसे भी जानने की कोशिश करेंगे क्या मुद्दे रहेंगे जिसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आज आप वोट करेंगे?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जो हमारा यूथ है वो तो हमारे देश का भविष्य है ना, तो फिर अगर हम लोग जो यूथ का जो मेन प्रॉब्लम है वो है नौकरी. बहुत सारे बेकार लोग बैठे हुए हैं घर पर, फिर भी नौकरी नहीं, तो फिर फर्स्ट प्रायोरिटी वही रहेगा को सबको नौकरी मिले. ओके, एंड देन जो हमारा किसान लोग हैं वो सब हम लोगों को अन्न देते हैं, तो उन लोगों का अगर कुछ अच्छा हो जाए तो वो भी अच्छा है.
सर आपसे भी जानने का कोशिश करेंगे, आपके हिसाब से क्या इश्यूज या क्या मुद्दे को मद्देनजर रखते हुए आप आज वोट करेंगे?
দেশকে শক্তিশালী করার জন্য যেটা দরকার সেটা করব.
So he also said the same thing.
We got the flavor of it. Thank you because you really educated us. Remember, Adhir Ranjan, it's a Congress bastion seat. Okay, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is hoping that he wins it again for the Congress party. The Congress party is sitting in the last election at 52 seats. Every single seat, especially retaining the seats that they won in the past, matters. So this matters. But once again, this is not a battle between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party in Bengal. This is a battle between the Congress and the TMC. And the TMC has declined to give a walkover to the Congress. They've in fact brought in the former cricketer Yusuf Pathan to give up an amplification to the battle to take down Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. So this is Mamta Banerjee and Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Remember, the two of them don't get along at all. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is the one Congress person who, of course, was a leader in parliament, who has been repeatedly being critical of Mamta Banerjee, is thoroughly against her ruling of the state. So amid the India alliance, this is as bitter a fight that can be done. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is out there to prove a point, not only to his party boss, but also to Mamta. And Mamta Banerjee has pulled all the stops to try to take him down. An ugly battle is taking place. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary starts off at an advantage. Okay, let's open up this conversation. I'm going to thank our reporters for setting this up to us, with us. We're going to be back with our reporters in 4 different constituencies at the top of 8 o'clock. Joining us now on the broadcast, Jimsa Ibrahim is with us, Shekhar Vijayan, as well as Himanshu Bhatt. Himanshu ji, let me quickly begin with you. Here we are, sir. Let's pick up this interesting battle in Bengal before I talk about Indore for a second, because they're 2 very interesting seats. Why is Mamta Banerjee out to get the goat of Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary? She wants him to lose. Why?
because Didi wants, Congress to be out of West Bengal. It's very as simple as that. Whatever is left of Congress is in Behrampur with Adhiranjan Das Chaudhary. And if Adhiranjan Das Chaudhary loses, it means Congress will not win any other seat in West Bengal. It's simple as that. And so Yusuf Pathan is imported from Gujarat, Baroda. And he's been asked to, fight from there. Well, I do not know whether people of Behrampur will accept that Mamta Didi's wish, which I have my own doubts. I'm not commenting on that. But I will not be surprised that in place like Behrampur Lok Sabha constituency will have more than 75% voting this time. This is going to happen. Because there, this pitch battle, as we say, is going to result in a lot of people coming out. And in that, what will happen is maybe a BJP candidate will play a spoiler for any one of the sides. Just what the fun. There you are going to see the third one, who is just not known. In fight among these two, that candidate will really play a big spoiler in Behrampur this time. That's my gut feeling.
Okay.
That's happening.
Okay, so let me get Jimsais Abraham into this. This is the only seat that the Congress has in West Bengal. And Mamta Banerjee wants them gone. So what is going on and how do we continue ignoring the fact that some of the parties of the Indie bloc hate each other? They are the ones they are competing against. And you're seeing that battle going on in Behrampur, Jim sir.
You have something very close happening in Kerala as well. So you have the CPM on the one side and the Congress on the other. They are part of the India bloc on the national stage. But when it comes to state sensitivities, they are vehement and in fact, in some cases, violent in wanting to occupy the secular space that they have set aside. So like Himanshu sir just mentioned a while ago, it is only because Didi wants to occupy the so-called secular space in Bengal and nip the Congress's chances in the bud. Because, see, us being a democracy, we should have somebody who is ruling, governing us. And in a healthy democracy, we also have opposition voices. So even if, let's say, BJP manages to cop up close to 18 to 22 seats this time, you need somebody from the opposition who is...
But Jim sir, that doesn't answer my question. They hate each other, the TMC and the Congress. Mamta Banerjee left the Congress to start the TMC.
That's true.
So it's more than just an inconvenient inconsistency. It is the brass tacks of political survival that these two parties contest against each other. Now the Congress is wiped out. If they lose this seat, they are wiped out of Bengal. So they are going to sit in power with the party that destroyed them. How does that make sense for Rahul Gandhi's future?
That's a slightly complex question to answer. How does that sit well with Rahul Gandhi's future? I am not in a position to comment on it right now. But you have a very interesting point. They are sworn enemies. The Trinamool Congress was formed in the 90s after Mamta leaving the Congress. And you have a point. She is trying to nip Congress's chances in the bud.
Okay. We're watching visuals on your screens coming live from Srinagar. Massive voting lines. Kashmir, ladies and gentlemen, rises early, gets out early. It always has. And you're seeing long lines that have been put out. Remember, first time residents of Srinagar are getting a chance to vote since the abrogation of Article 370. It's a battle between the PDP and the National Conference. The National Conference is expected to take that battle. We'll find out, of course, on June 4th. Let me get Shekhar Vijayan onto that conversation before I come back and discuss Srinagar. Shekhar, what do you make of this? I mean, it smacks us in the face that in Delhi, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress are in an electoral alliance. In Punjab, the Congress is looking to demolish the Aam Aadmi Party. They managed to come together in some sort of a deal in UP, but the only reason that deal is happening because the Congress isn't really contesting UP very seriously. They're focusing on the South. The left and the Congress are in an alliance or de facto alliance in Bengal, but they are contesting against each other in Kerala. After a point, it's a bit of a joke. Shekhar, if you can hear us, maybe not.
Yes, Rishabh, yes, of course.
So why would Mamata Banerjee go and find somebody who is not necessarily a son of the soil to defeat Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, primarily playing on Muslim identity?
So, Rishabh, before we start, I was also listening into the on-ground discussion by your reporters, and I think they captured the pulse of India so well. And especially now, as we talk, we are watching the visuals in Srinagar. It's so iconic. We're seeing elections there after a long time. But coming to your point about Mamata Banerjee and Adhir Ranjan, there's no love lost between both of them. They've always been like this. Especially Mamata Banerjee is quite bull-headed about how she wants to take the party across, about the Muslim identity, and about the fact that we've also noticed in this elections, Congress is not just fighting with the BJP. I think the Prime Minister also hinted at that in his various discussions, that the Congress is actually fighting with the regional parties to get a vote share. And that's what is happening as we talk, across India in this very interesting election, as we enter the fourth phase. And with respect to Mamata Banerjee versus Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, they have always been at loggerheads in the parliament, in elections, whenever it's happened. And Mamata Banerjee has been a part of Congress earlier, and then now she's making sure that she establishes herself as a national leader in West Bengal. It'll not be an easy elections.
No, but how do you establish yourself a national leader in the state? You're saying she's going to establish a national leader, herself as a national leader in West Bengal. She's not going to win any seats outside of West Bengal. So how is she a national leader?
So she cannot be. One thing is for sure, in West Bengal, she's very powerful. Whether
no doubt
you look at it, there's no denying it, and she knows it very well. She can assert it very well. But in terms of Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary coming in, I think somewhere they're trying to establish that they want to win at all costs. See, this election is also about perception. This election is also about showing your opposition that what.
No, it's not about perceptions. It's about survival. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary's career is at stake here. Okay, yes. He loses this seat.
Put another bus also, I feel.
He loses this seat to Mamata Banerjee, and that's political career probably over for Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary in a place where he has been winning from the Congress, where the Congress everywhere else has been losing. And Mamata Banerjee is out to demolish him. And they don't like each other. They speak vocally about each other all the time. Now imagine being in government together. Well, all the very best. That's going to be more than a bit awkward. Okay, just stay with me.
This also reflects the leadership, I feel, in Congress. They put this man under the bus because they know that there's no chance of winning. And, this is not going to end really well.
I don't think Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has no chance of winning. I won't dismiss it. He probably does have a chance of winning. He should probably retain this seat. It's the TMC that's going to lose. But the point of conversation is that Mamata Banerjee could have put up a contest of the assembly segments the TMC does reasonably well here. Okay. So she could have put up a straw man and let Congress win one seat. They're sitting at 52. So the baseline to start at means first you retain the seats you already had before you think of 100 plus. So you want to get the 52 back at least. You want Tharoor to win in Thiruvananthapuram. Okay. You want Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. These are the senior leaders of the party to win from Behrampur. But Mamata Banerjee has brought in Yusuf Pathan primarily to defeat him. And that's going to be an awkward government formation when it does, if it were to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are inconsistencies. Mamata Banerjee has primarily done a service to the people of Bengal. She left the Congress party, she took on the left parties, and she defeated them. It was not easy. We need to appreciate her political journey a lot more. Imagine how ugly politics gets in Bengal even right now, now that Mamata Banerjee's team might be part of the ugliness. But imagine, as a woman in Bengal, standing up against a bastion rule for decades wasn't easy. She took them on, she beat them. Okay. And now she's taking on Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and she wants him defeated. Yusuf Pathan has not been sent there just to play the fiddle. He's been sent to go and defeat Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. And I can tell you the TMC cadres on the ground are working aggressively to be able to do that. Let me rope in Himanshu Bhatt on Srinagar. Himanshu Bhatt, PDP versus National Conference. The overall perception seems to be the National Conference will probably take it. But I have to ask you the larger question. if we see large turnouts, as we are expecting to see in Srinagar, what if National Conference wins, they're going to come and say this is a vote against Article 370. You can predict it, against the abrogation. How do you think it's playing out in Srinagar?
No, they will not say. They will not be able to say. They might tom-tom it. See, tom-tomming it and seriously saying it is a very different thing. They will have to accept the fact that people of Srinagar, people of Kashmir Ghati are now free to vote, which was not the case in their times when Article 370 was imposed. What was the percentage of voting at that on those days? 6%, 8%, 10% on certain booths. Now here, if you cross anything more than national average of 60, 65, it will be the victory of democracy and the victory of the central government's policy of abrogation of Article 370. People are free to go out and vote, and they are exercising their franchise itself is a victory of Bharatiya democracy, Indian democracy in a place like Kashmir. That will send a worldwide signal to the people. That will send a huge signal to the people that in Kashmir things are getting normal. You have to accept that fact, and today the voting by the people of Kashmir Ghati is going to be the reflection and the photo ops for the entire world to see that the narratives played on Kashmir were all wrong.
Okay, so let me educate this conversation which you're having. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, there are about 11 to 12 lakh registered voters, people who qualify to vote in the Srinagar constituency, in Badgaon, in the city itself. Last time around, the voter turnout was 13%, 13%, okay? And the reason it was 13% was because a boycott call, can't vote, we'll threaten the voters, all of that happened. So Farooq Abdullah won the seat. He won the seat with a 60% vote share, but he only got 1 lakh votes. Most candidates in the Lok Sabha who are winning will be hoping to win by 1 lakh votes, not receive 1 lakh votes, okay? So the argument that you're hearing from Himanshu Bhatt, that improvement in turnout, maybe double, maybe triple, maybe quadruple, okay, would indicate to you that people are coming out and being able to vote freely for the first time, versus the argument that a lot of people are coming out to vote, and if they're voting National Conference in a choice between Apni Party National Conference and PDP, well, if they're voting for Omar and Farooq Abdullah, well, indeed, that they have a problem with the abrogation of Article 370. We will have this debate for times immemorial. That is not going to change the situation on the ground. You are seeing on your screens in Kadapa in Andhra Pradesh, where voting is taking place, and none other than Jagan Mohan Reddy is voting, a very enigmatic fellow in the national scene. He is another person. We talk about saving the constitution. Ask Jagan Reddy, who was not only ostracized but locked up after his father died in the UPA. So speaking of saving the constitution, it cuts both ways. Jagan Mohan Reddy, not a fan of the Congress, but guess what? His sister is now leading the Congress's charge against him in Andhra Pradesh, is Y.S. Sharmila. So let me finish the conversation, Srinagar. I'm going to come and pick up the conversation, Jagan one. It's an interesting one. Jimsa, Srinagar, okay? The BJP expected to take the seats in Jammu. There's a good contest. Jitendra Singh is, of course, contesting from Udhampur there. Srinagar expected to go the way of the national conference. We don't know. It might be a revival for the PDP. But the BJP is not a player here. What do you make of this contest? What do you make of the future of Omar Abdullah?
Well, there is only one way to look at it. The victory of the National Conference is a certainty. And that being said, like Himanshu sir just mentioned a while ago, any improvement in voting percentage today, and the responsibility for it, the onus of it only rests on the BJP. They have the credit to take, and no matter how small or large the figures are, anything above 13% would be advantage BJP. They have a rhetoric, they have a narrative to drive home. So yes, the seat is going to go the National Conference's way, but the credit is all for the BJP.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, for the Abdullahs, if they come with 2 or 3 seats out of Kashmir, they remain players in the national game. Article 370 is not being reinstated. The chances of that happening are below nil. It's not going to happen. We'll have to try to listen to people as we try to listen into Jagan Reddy. Let's listen in.
Vote for that governance which would lead to a brighter future. What to the vote?
Simultaneously, as Jagan Reddy is casting his vote, the man trying to unseat him for power in Andhra Pradesh, as well as win a large chunk of the Lok Sabha seat, Chandrababu Naidu of the Telugu Desam Party, also casting his vote on the left side of his screens. You can see the very now recognizable figure of Chandrababu Naidu standing on the right of your screen, on the left side of the screen, where you can see him standing in line to cast his vote. Jagan Reddy, not a person who has been a fan of the national media, speaks very rarely, has only spoken in the last couple of months after 5 long years that he's given a couple of interviews to the national media, doesn't like to speak out on national issues. In practice, Jagan Reddy has in the past voted on important issues along with the BJP. So on important matters that have taken place in the country, including matters like Article 370 and beyond, in conversations that have happened when the opposition has boycotted or walked off in Parliament, the YSR Congress has held firm. So this time around, the previous ally, NDA ally, Chandrababu Naidu, is back. He had walked out of the NDA before the previous elections. He is back in this contest. Let's try to get rid of the graphics on our screens because unnecessarily they're blocking up the visuals. Our PCR crew is going to sort that out for you. This is, of course, not making any sense. Let's be able to see what's going on. Let's quickly. So let me pick up this conversation before I come back to Srinagar. Himanshu Bhatt, interesting battle in Andhra Pradesh. Jagan versus his sister versus Chandrababu Naidu. Is Jagan in trouble?
Jagan in trouble. That's what people say. But then tell you, it's going to be a win-win situation for BJP. Whatever, in spite of getting minimum number of seats from the states, BJP is going to be on a winning side. Because as you said, YSR, Jagan has been helping BJP or NDA alliance in times of trouble, in times of important issues in the parliament, that he will keep on doing so. On one side, if Jagan wins, then also there's no problem. But what will happen most likely is the majority of the seats, Chandrababu Naidu will really make a comeback. That's what people expect that. Chandrababu Naidu along with Pawan Kalyan will make a sort of comeback because the way he was become irrelevant from the politics, that's not going to happen now. This elections is going to see the resurfacing of Chandrababu Naidu. And that will make situation for Congress very, very difficult to work with. As a national party, Congress will have to have their identity there. And they are trying their best to cling on to something what they do not have, what they have already lost. The sister of Jagan going to a leading Congress charge, do you think it is, I certainly think that in Congress politics of Andhra Pradesh, it's not going to pay dividends. And that's where the whole gamut of Congress leadership's think tank should think about. That's what I feel. BJP is very clear. They have nothing there. They have nothing there. Out of 6, if they manage to win 2 seats, it will be a big victory for them. But the alliances, what they crop up with, that is for the future. After 5 years, after 10 years, BJP will have a strong foothold like Telangana, what they are having now. They have to look at the neighboring state. And this is what is happening there.
Okay.
And I feel very, very clear about all this.
Here's a reminder, ladies and gentlemen. 2012 was arrested by the CBI, accused of corruption and embezzlement. Okay. Accused of amassing disproportionate assets through while his father was in tenure. Summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. okay, for mining and allotment, went and appealed to the Supreme Court for bail. His bail was rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. His bail was rejected. Okay. Then, of course, he took out the Padyatra and became Chief Minister. And here we are. All of this took place under the Congress. And why did it take place under the Congress? His father was their own Chief Minister. Makes you think. Jimsa Ibrahim, why would Jagan Reddy, who is now not considered tainted at all, face so many cases under the Congress? Was that also misuse? Should some people like Jagan Reddy be trying to save the Constitution?
Soon after his father passed away in 2008, I believe it was, he was vocal in being the chief ministerial phase of Andhra Pradesh. Now, we had a couple of chief ministers soon after Chief Minister Y.S.R. Reddy's death. But since the family wanted one of them, either the daughter or the son, especially the Jagan Mohan Reddy, was the chief ministerial phase that was put forward from the family, they were pushing for it within the Congress fold. So you saw a couple of other floaters in between. But this was primarily the reason why Jagan had the kind of opposition within the Congress party, because he was not into politics earlier. Soon after his father's death, he asked for the CM's chair, and this did not sit well with the Congress High Command. That being said, now the situations have largely changed. You have 25 seats, I believe, in Andhra Pradesh, of which 22 were won by Jagan Mohan Reddy's party the last time. This time around, he is going to be the dark horse of national politics. No doubt about it. You have states like UP firmly consolidating with the BJP. You have Bihar, where it can go either way. You have Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh, states like this.
All right. So let me pick the question. And I'll come back to this thought. Shekhar Vijayan, as we're watching, of course, in other parts of Andhra Pradesh, these are live shots from Guntur there. Shekhar, come in on this. He spent 1.5 years in jail. He was arrested in the middle of a by-election. 1.5 years in jail, Jagan Mohan Reddy spent. Okay. And it's all forgotten now. So was that cooked up charge?
See, ultimately, Rishabh, this is an election, and I think he's going to play a very, very critical role in how the election is shaping up. As we see right now, election is going to happen in Telangana, and talking about the charges, those charges are there, and he served time for it, and he's also
he was not convicted. He spent 18 months in jail while the investigation was underway. There has been no trial or no conviction. If he had been convicted, he would have been dismissed from office and ineligible to fight for 6 years post facto. So he was never convicted. He spent 18 months in jail under the Congress, primarily because, let's face it, Himanshu Bhatt, he wanted to become the leader of the Congress in Andhra Pradesh. The Congress High Command, led by Sonia Gandhi, who allowed for the creation of Telangana, let Telangana be created, in which, ironically, the Congress for 10 years lost out on the state to KCR and mucked up the party in both the states. Let's quickly listen in.
मगर आज मैं वोट डाला हूँ हमारे परिवार के साथ और हमारे आजू बाजू हमारे फ्रेंड्स नियर सभी लोग मेरे साथ आए, सभी लोग वोट डाले हैं। मैं सभी लोगों से यही अनुरोध करता हूँ, आज पोलिंग डे है, भारत सरकार हो, इलेक्शन कमीशन हो, पोलिंग डे के दिन हॉलिडे देते हैं, मगर कुछ लोग ये पोलिंग डे को सिर्फ हॉलिडे मानते हैं। ये ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए। पोलिंग डालने के बाद हॉलिडे बनाइए। आज जो वातावरण भी अच्छा है, आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री बार बार बोलते हैं ये प्रजातंत्र का त्यौहार है, ये फेस्टिवल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। इस फेस्टिवल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी को मानकर सभी लोग वोट डालना अपना जिम्मेदारी है। डॉक्टर अब्दुल कलाम जी बार बार बोलते थे वोट इज़ अ फंडामेंटल राइट, मगर वोट डालना भी अपना जिम्मेदारी है, ऐसा अब्दुल कलाम जी बोलते हैं। इसीलिए मैं सभी लोगों से प्रार्थना करता हूँ।
Okay, well, Yes, please do come out and vote. Let's come out and vote. Surely we can do better than 2 out of 3. We can do 3 out of 4 votes cast this time. Ladies and gentlemen, regardless, this is going to be the largest election in the history of the world. At the end of the phase, it already will be, okay, with 3 phases to go. More votes have been cast in India in the last 3 weeks than have ever been cast in an election process anywhere in the history of the world, okay? Something epic is taking place, regardless of the conversations we are having. So let me pick up that conversation where we left off with Himanshu Bhatt. So Himanshu ji, yes, so that's the truism of politics. It was a total disaster until the Congress came back under Revant Reddy just a few months ago. Andhra, Telangana was a disaster. They tried every trick in the book, including CBI, ED, locking up Jagan in cases that completely vanished afterwards. They made his life miserable. He was a bitter young man when he came out and started that Padyatra. You and I recall that very well. He was a bitter young man, okay? Now, what's the issue now with Jagan? Can he go back to the Congress after all he was made to suffer? Is it possible?
No, it will not happen that way. It will not happen that way. Jagan will stand his ground and he will stay relevant in the politics of Andhra Pradesh. And if Jagan stays relevant in the politics of Andhra Pradesh, then what will happen is there will be no space for one of the political parties. One of the national political parties, that is Congress or BJP. The resurgence of Congress in Andhra Pradesh solely and solely depends on Jagan Mohan Reddy's behavior and performance. Still, people of Andhra Pradesh are not totally wary of Jagan Mohan Reddy. They still remember Jagan Mohan Reddy, doing all the Padayatras and doing all the things that he did for them. And people have not forgotten Chandrababu Naidu and his policy, despite being, highly acclimatized, very highly publicized Andhra Pradesh leader. Chandrababu Naidu does not have the sway among the people of Andhra Pradesh relatively when I compare this to Jagan Reddy and Chandrababu. Even today, Jagan Mohan Reddy holds a sway. So Jagan going back to Congress is not going to happen. What is going to happen is in this fight, there is going to be a decimation of one national political party.
Okay.
And that's what...
Okay. Now, of course, the irony in politics, ladies and gentlemen, as all of you debate and discuss with you, the irony, of course, in politics is that Chandrababu Naidu was then arrested for corruption. And I won't use the word strip searched, but certainly was made to go through awkward searches even at airports in Andhra Pradesh. So, yes, that's politics. Okay, so take it with a pinch of salt when you hear charges floating all around by all political parties, including the Bharatiya Janata Party. The reality check, ladies and gentlemen, is that 2014 was fought on corruption, 2G, CWG, coal scam, Antrix scam, you name the scam. How many people were convicted? I can think of several who faced months in jail, including Kani Modi, A. Raja, who were back in parliament. Chandrababu Naidu speaking. Let's listen in.
మా మిస్సెస్ కానీ ఇద్దరం కూడా ఓటేసి వచ్చాం. నేను చాలా ఎలక్షన్లు చూశాను. ప్రత్యక్షంగా నేను కూడా ఓటేసాను. ఈరోజు ఓటర్స్ అందరూ కూడా వాళ్ళ ఓటు ఉపయోగించుకోవడానికి వాళ్ళు చూపించిన చొరవ నేను ఎప్పుడూ మర్చిపోలేను. ఎందుకంటే తమిళలో అరిస్తే నేను మాట్లాడను. దయచేసి ఉండాలి. మీ లోగో కోసం ప్రయత్నాలు చేస్తే కంటెంట్ కోసం కాకుండా ఓకే, అందరికీ నమస్కారాలు. ఈరోజు నేను చూస్తే అందరూ ఓటర్స్ కూడా 7 గంటలకే పోలింగ్ స్టేషన్కి వచ్చారు. తమ ఓటు ఒక పవిత్రమైన భావంతో ఓటేయాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో వచ్చారు. చాలా ఎన్నికలు చూశారు కానీ ఈరోజు చూసింది మాత్రం చాలా ప్రత్యేకంగా కనపడుస్తుంది. ఓటు అనేది ప్రజాస్వామ్యంలో ఒక వజ్రాయుధం. వాళ్ళ జీవితాల్ని, సమాజ జీవితాన్ని, వాళ్ళ పిల్లల భవిష్యత్తుని తీర్చిదిద్దేది. అది గుర్తించారు. చాలా పెద్ద ఎత్తున వచ్చారు. రాష్ట్రం అంతా కూడా ఒకటే కోరుతున్నా, ఓటు మీ హక్కు, ఓటు మీ జీవితాలను మారుస్తుంది. అదే మాదిరిగా మీ భవిష్యత్తును మారుస్తుంది. మీ పిల్లలే కాకుండా మీ భావితరాల పిల్లలకు కూడా పునాదులు ఇస్తుంది. దయచేసి బాధ్యతగా ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ రావాలి, ఓటు వేసుకోవాలి, ఓటు వేయాలి. తద్వారా మీ యొక్క మనోభావాలు తెలియజేసి రేపు రాబోయే రోజుల్లో ఏదైతే సుపరిపాలన ఉంటుందో ఆ సుపరిపాలనకు నాంది పలకాల్సిందిగా మరొక్కసారి కోరుకుంటూ, మరొక్కసారి అందరినీ విజ్ఞప్తి చేస్తున్నా, అశ్రద్ధ చేయొద్దండి. ప్రతి ఒక్క వ్యక్తి యొక్క బాధ్యత. ఎక్కడో అమెరికా నుంచి, హైదరాబాద్ నుంచి, లేకుంటే బాంబే నుంచి, వివిధ నగరాల నుంచి, బెంగళూరు నుంచి, చెన్నై నుంచి, అనేక నగరాల నుంచి వాళ్లే డబ్బులు ఖర్చు పెట్టుకుని అభ్యర్థులు తెలియకపోయినా ఒక పార్టీ విధానాలతో వాళ్ళు ముందుకు వచ్చే పరిస్థితికి వచ్చారు. కొంతమంది అయితే పేదవాళ్ళు, కూరగాయల వ్యాపారం చేసుకునే వాళ్ళు, ఇక్కడ లేకుండా ఎక్కడో ఉంటే సొంత ఖర్చులు పెట్టుకొని, క్యారియర్ పెట్టుకొని నేరుగా వచ్చి వాళ్ళ గ్రామంలో ఓటేసుకునే పరిస్థితికి వచ్చారు. ఇది నా జీవితంలో ఎప్పుడు చూడలా. ఇది నిజమైన ప్రజాస్వామ్యం, ప్రజాస్వామ్య స్ఫూర్తికి ఇది నిదర్శనం. అందరినీ మరొక్కసారి అప్పీల్ చేస్తున్నా, ప్రతి ఒక్కరూ రండి, మీ ఓటు హక్కును ఉపయోగించుకోండి. ఏ వ్యక్తి కూడా నేను చూశాను, వికలాంగులు, వృద్ధులు, నడవలేని వాళ్ళు వీల్ చైర్లో వచ్చి ఇది నా బాధ్యత, నేను ఓటేస్తానని చెప్పినప్పుడు నాకు చాలా ఆనందం కలిగింది. ఒళ్ళంతా పులకరించే పరిస్థితి వచ్చింది. ఇది వినూత్నమైన అనుభవం. అందరికీ మరొకసారి అభినందన. ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ కూడా ఎప్పటికప్పుడు కంప్లైంట్ చేశాం. ప్రాథమికంగా మాకు పొంగునూరు వచ్చింది, మాచర్లో వచ్చింది, 2 దిక్కల్లో వస్తే అప్పటికే నేను కంప్లైంట్ చేశాం. అధికారులతో మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. అదే మాదిరిగా ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ కూడా అప్రోచ్ అయ్యాం. నేను ఒకటే ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నా, ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ ఆధ్వర్యంలో ఎలక్షన్ జరుగుతున్నాయి. ఇది రాష్ట్ర ఎన్నికల కమిషన్ కాదు. ఆ విషయం నాయకులు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఎవరైనా ఒకటే కోరుతున్నా, ప్రజాస్వామ్యంలో ప్రజాస్వామ్యాన్ని అపహాస్యం చేయాలని ప్రయత్నం చేస్తే మాత్రం ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో మా కార్యకర్తలు కూడా గమనుండరు. జెన్యూన్గా లా అండ్ ఆర్డర్ ప్రకారం మీరు ఓట్లేయండి. ప్రజా అభిష్టం నెరవేరాలి, దానికి మేము కట్టుబడి ఉంటాం. కానీ ప్రజాభిష్టాన్ని వమ్ము చేసే విధంగా రౌడీజంతో, గూండాయిజంతో మా ఏజెంట్లు కిడ్నాప్ చేస్తే మాత్రం ఎట్టి పరిస్థితుల్లో పోషించాం. ఎలక్షన్ కమిషన్ డిమాండ్ చేస్తున్నాం, పోలీస్ అధికారులను డిమాండ్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఎక్కడా అవాంఛనీయ సంఘటనలు జరగకుండా కాపాడవలసిన బాధ్యత మీది. ప్రతి ఒక్కరి వ్యక్తికి స్వేచ్ఛ ఉంది, స్వేచ్ఛగా ఓటేయాలి. ప్రతి ఒక్క రాజకీయ పార్టీకి స్వేచ్ఛ ఉంది. వాళ్ళ ఏజెంట్లు పెట్టుకునే హక్కు ఉంది. వాళ్ళ ఏజెంట్లు అలో చేయాలి, మీరే ప్రొటెక్ట్ చేయాలి. అది మీ బాధ్యత.
సార్, ఈసారి గతం కంటే ఈసారి పోలింగ్ శాతం బాగా పెరిగే అవకాశం ఉంది. 7 గంటలకి మీరు
నేను 43వ ఓటు వేసాను. అంటే నేను వేసే ముందు 43 మంది వేసారు ఒక బూత్. అంటే 10% ఓట్లే.
I think we've lost that line there, but we've had a chance to listen to Chandrababu Naidu in length.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.